Welcome to Discover Gluten Freedom. I'm your host, Melinda Tucker, and today we're making chicken and dumplings. I've already got the broth and water hot. I have a pretty good sized stock pot here with a quart of stock and 2 cups of water. I went ahead and cut up 3 stalks of celery and 3 carrots, probably about a cup and a half each if you're measuring by the cup. And I'm going to put this in. We're going to let that come back up to a boil and let it simmer for about 5, 6, 7 minutes, and then we're going to add our chicken. Okay, our vegetables and stock have been simmering now for about 10 minutes, so they should be getting pretty tender. Oh, they smell really good. So now it's time to add the chicken. I have about 3 cups of chicken, just shredded. You can do chopped if you like smaller pieces. I just kind of shred mine into chunks because I like a little more rustic. And I'm going to put that in. And my chicken is cold because I had made it last night, and I'm going to be sure this comes back up to a decent simmer, not a rolling boil, but a good hard simmer before I put our dumplings in. Oh, doesn't that look good? You can always test it throughout and just give it a little taste to see if you need salt and pepper. It does depend if you use an unsalted stock or if your stock is salty or what have you. So salt and pepper is up to your discretion. I'm going to put the lid on and let it come back up to a little boil. So next, I'm going to make the dumplings, but I have a secret ingredient. I have an Udi's gluten-free pizza crust. It makes really good dumplings, and I don't know about you, but comfort food needs to be a little bit comfortable to make. And when you want it, you don't necessarily want to go through the whole shebang of making homemade dumplings. So I'm just going to take 1 crust for the size of pot that we were doing, which was 6 cups of liquid and 3 cups of meat, and then our vegetables. And I'm going to cut it into strips about 1 inch wide. The nice thing about these dumplings is I've made them this way a few times, and they actually hold up for leftovers the next day, a couple days, however long you need. They don't fall apart. They taste just as good right out of the pot, right off the stove, as they did the first day you made them. After I get my 1 inch strips, I'm going to go ahead and cut them into 2 inch lengths to make it dumpling size. In some parts of the country, folks eat dumplings that are more biscuit style. Southern dumplings are usually more of a rolled out, flat, not really a noodle, but a flat dumpling. And so that's what I've always been used to, and this made a perfect substitution with a really good flavor, and it really holds up. I'm cutting some of these on the diagonal just to kind of make them have some shape. And they can be random. No need for perfect dumplings. So looky there, we've got gluten-free dumplings for gluten-free chicken and dumpling, and all I used was a ready-made little pizza crust. How quick is that? All right, I've brought our dumplings over. It's about time to put them in. It's starting to smell like chicken and dumplings. That's how you know when it's getting close. But look at that. It's golden and bubbly and yummy. So now I'm going to add my dumplings in. Remember, we're just using Udi's gluten-free pizza crust that I cut into about 1 inch by 2 inch strips. There's a little bit of a kind of a starchy powder that comes off the crust too. Go ahead and put that in there. That just helps thicken up the whole thing. We're going to tuck them all in and make sure everybody's good and wet. Now that they're kind of getting wet and starting to soak up some of the liquids, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. You do have to remember, usually when we make dumplings we add salt especially, but sometimes pepper depending on how you make yours, and there really isn't any in there. So at times you're going to find it needs a little bit of a touch to give it that little bit of flavor, but it'll all come together in the pot. I'm going to turn it down to just a low, quiet simmer for about 5 minutes, and it's going to be ready to eat. Alrighty, yum! We have a nice big pot of chicken and dumplings. And the chicken's just going to melt in your mouth, and the dumplings are going to take on all that broth. We got our nice carrots. Look at there, isn't that good? So our chicken and dumplings are done, ready to eat. It didn't take very much time at all. The whole thing came together in probably under 30 minutes. You can find this recipe and more on my website at discoverglutenfreedom.com, and I hope that my chicken and dumplings recipe helps you discover gluten freedom. Thanks for watching.